Next, we will show that expectation of x square is greater than or equal to expectation of x the whole square. So for that, we will first consider variance of x. Okay. Now, variance of a random variable will be always greater than or equal to 0. So we can write this as variance of x is greater than or equal to 0. Now we know that what variance of x is. Variance of x is nothing but expectation of x minus expectation of x the whole square. So this term expectation of x minus expectation of x the whole square, we can expand this term. So when we expand this term, what we get is expectation of x square minus 2x expectation of x plus expectation of x the whole square, right? So when I take this expectation inside, I get expectation of x square minus 2 into expectation of x, then this expectation of x is also added over here, so I'm going to write this as 2 into expectation of x square plus expectation of x the whole square, which is equal to, so this is okay, so which is equal to expectation of x square minus, now this term it will become expectation of x the whole square, which is again we have came from here, so it is known that variance of x is greater than or equal to 0, so I am going to write it like this, and which implies that expectation of x square is greater than or equal to expectation of x the whole square. So hence the result. I hope you have understood this result.
Now we will show that variance of ax plus by is equal to a square vx plus b square vy, that is variance of y, where x and y are two independent random variables. So basically you have to prove that this right hand side and left hand side are equal, and the only condition that they have provided us with is that x and y are two independent random variables. So let's move on. So here for moving forward, I'm going to give expectation of x a notation that is a1. Similarly, I'm going to give expectation of y is equal to a2. So therefore, expectation of ax plus by. So I'm going to find out what is expectation of ax plus by, and you all know what is the formula for expectation of x. So instead of x, I have given over here ax plus by. So let's see, when I expand this, what I get. I get a into expectation of x, this result you have studied earlier, plus b expectation of y, which is equal to a multiplied by expectation of x. Over here I have denoted or I have given the notation a1, so I'm going to substitute this over here, plus b multiplied by a2, which again expectation of y is equal to a2, that is I'm going to give I'm going to substitute a2 over here. Okay, so my next step is to find out what is v of ax plus by, or variance of ax plus by. This is equal to expectation of ax plus by minus expectation of ax plus by the whole square. I hope you know this result of variance of x. Variance of x is equal to what? Expectation of x minus expectation of x the whole square. So from that I just expanded this, keeping that result in mind. I expanded this thing. Okay, so the next step, I get expectation of ax plus by minus a1. So what I did is I took this expectation inside. When I took this expectation inside, I got expectation of ax, where a is a constant, so I took it outside. Then the rest I get as expectation of x, which is again a1, so I've substituted here, minus similarly expectation of by, which I got it as b into a2 the whole square. Now the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to take common in terms which include a. So here ax and minus a1. So these two, I'm going to consider these two first, and I'm going to take a outside because it is common in these two terms, in the first and third term. So when I take a outside, I get x minus a1 plus, then I'm going to consider the second and the fourth term where b is common. So I'm going to take b outside, and then I will get y minus a2, the whole square. Okay, now this is in the form of nothing but a plus b the whole square, which is a result that you have studied in your high school. So keeping that in mind, you are going to expand this whole thing, and when you do the expansion, so instead of a, you can write a into x minus a1. So when you expand a plus b the whole square, what will you get? A square plus b square plus 2ab. So instead of a square, what will you write here? A square into x minus a1 the whole square plus, instead of b square, we'll write b square into y minus a2 the whole square plus 2ab. Instead of 2ab, you will write 2ab x minus a1 into y minus a2. Now in the next step, I'm going to take the expectation inside. So let's have a look at what the answer is. So when I take the expectation inside, as usual, a square is a constant. So I'm going to take a square outside, and then you will get expectation of x minus a1 the whole square plus, similarly, b square is a constant. B square is taken outside, expectation of y minus a2 the whole square plus, again 2ab is a constant. It is taken outside, and then you can write expectation of x minus a1 into y minus a2. So now for the time being, you just leave this first two terms. Okay, we are not considering this first two terms right now, but I'm going to concentrate on expectation of x minus a1 and multiplied by y minus a2. So I'm going to concentrate in the third term, and I just want to know what the result is. So let's have a look. Now we know that I'm going to take that third term over here. In the third term, I'm not going to consider 2ab since it is a constant. So I'm going to take expectation of x minus a1 multiplied by y minus a2, which is equal to expectation of x minus a1 into expectation of y minus a2. So how did I write like this? Because x and y are independent. It's already set in the question. Okay, so since you have studied the multiplication theorem in terms of expectation, so from that result I wrote this. Okay, now let's have a look at what happens. So when I consider this particular term, expectation of x minus a1, I'm going to take this expectation inside. Okay, so when I'm taking expectation inside, I get expectation of x minus expectation of x, which is 0. So this term is 0. Okay, again, when I consider expectation of y minus a2, and if I take expectation inside, again I get this term as 0. So in short, this whole term, that is expectation of x minus a1 into y minus a2, is 0. So that means the third term is 0. The third term that is in this equation, the third term, that is 2ab, expectation of x minus a1, y minus a2, this thing is 0. And what is remaining here? We only have variance of ax plus by is equal to a square expectation of x minus a1 square plus b square expectation of y minus a2 square. Now let's have a look at what that means. Okay, so variance of ax plus by is equal to a square expectation of x minus a1. Instead of a1, see, a1 was a notation that I gave for my convenience. So instead of a1, I can write it as what? Expectation of x plus b square expectation of y minus ey. Ey is nothing but a2 the whole square, which is equal to a square. Now this term is clear. This term is what is this term? Yes, it is nothing but variance of x plus b square multiplied by, I'm really sorry, here you have to write it as y. That was a typing mistake, typing error. So this term will become variance of y. So I just want you to note that b square multiplied by variance of y. Y should be written over here. It's my mistake. It's not x. So I hope you all understood how we got this result. Now we will
Now we will do a problem with the help of the results that we have studied earlier. So as you have seen the problem, I will explain the problem now. So here in this problem we have to find out two constants, that is a and b. So for that the information given in the problem, to find out what a and b, the information that we have with us is nothing but a relationship between y and x, that is y is equal to ax plus b. Okay, so this is the first information that we get from our problem. Now the second information is that it says that what the mean of y is 6 and the variance is unity. So the mean of y is 6 means it is nothing but expectation of y is equal to 6 and the variance of y is unity, means v of y is equal to 1. Similarly, whereas they have also said that the random variable x, it has a mean 8 and the variance of x is 16. So we can write that as expectation of x is equal to 8 and variance of x is equal to 16. So this is the primary information that we have received from our problem. Now back to the problem. Now we have to find out a and b. So since there are two constants or two unknowns that we have to find out, we will just refresh our memories back to our high school section, where we know that when we have two unknowns, we should have two equations, at least two equations to solve our problem, right? So we will apply that same theorem or that same ideology over here. So in order to find out a and b, I am going to write as expectation of y is equal to expectation of ax plus b. Okay, now this is the first equation, and another equation I am going to frame is variance of y is equal to variance of ax plus b. This is the second equation. So now my first equation implies that expectation of y is nothing but 6 is equal to expectation of ax plus expectation of b. Okay, now this is equal to, since a is a constant, I am going to take a outside, we know the result, plus expectation of b. Expectation of a constant is a constant itself, you can keep that that b like that itself. Then which implies 6 is equal to a into expectation of x is nothing but 8 plus b. So it is so our equation is 8a plus b is equal to 6. So this I will mark it as equation number 3. Now from equation number 2, what I get is variance of y is 1 is equal to variance of ax plus b, variance of ax plus variance of b. Okay, so that is equal to we have studied this what the result of what variance of ax is. Okay, now let's have a look at what the result is all about. So when I take a outside, we have studied the result. So it is nothing but a square variance of x and plus variance of a constant is 0. So I get variance of x. Instead of variance of x, I can substitute it as 16. Okay, so which implies a square is equal to 1 by 16. So from this I will get what a is. So a is equal to plus or minus 1 by 4. Okay, so again when I get a is equal to plus or minus 1 by 4, that means there exist two cases. When a is equal to a positive 1 by 4 and a is equal to minus 1 by 4, I have to find out what b. Okay, so there will be two results for b as well. So here when k is 1, a is equal to 1 by 4, I am considering the equation 8a plus b is equal to 6, and I am substituting the value a is equal to 1 by 4, and then I will get b is equal to 2. Again k is 2 when a is equal to minus 1 by 4, again I am substituting the minus 1 by 4 in this equation, and I will get the value b is equal to 10. So it is clear that a takes the values minus 1 by 4 and plus 1 by 4, and b takes the value 10 and 2 respectively. So the problem is solved.